Hey guys, it's Jim, welcome back, and this is a requested review for Megan. I'm so sorry it took me a while to get to this, but if you guys, any of you out there would like to request a video, there's a link down below to my PayPal. It's £5 for a review, and just leave me a message when you donate. It's all on there. If you want to, don't have to. If you want to see me review something, you can. Link is in the description. So this is a review for Megan of the 2016 Persian horror film Under the Shadow, directed by Babak Anvari. It stars Narges Rashidi and Avin Manshidi as a mother and daughter who are left alone when their father and obviously the partner has to go off to war. This is set in the 80s in Tehran, in Iran, in what's called the War of the Cities, when Iran was under attack by Iraq. And what basically happens is this mother and daughter are left alone. The father asks that the mother take the daughter to his mother's place, but the mother and the father have kind of fallen out in the beginning, because we find out that this mother has recently not been accepted back to become a doctor. She was involved in some political unrest and she feels like a failure. And she this whole film is very much more than a horror film. It's a journey of restoring one's faith in themselves and rebuilding her relationship with her daughter and rebuilding her self-respect. There's lots going on. And that's what I really love about this film. There's loads going on. It's also about, obviously, the war is kicking off around them and the anxiety and the fear surrounding that. And obviously the ghosts arrive. This is about ghosts haunting the mother and the daughter during this terrible time also. And everything just feels really like it's going to implode in this. But it's a real subtle build-up. It's a very, very slow build just of tension and anxiety and fear and pressure. There's so much pressure on this mother as she becomes more and more isolated with this daughter. More and more people move away from the area because of the bombs, and then the daughter loses her doll, or loses it. Actually, did someone terrifying take it, and she won't leave until she has that doll, so they're stuck there. And it almost feels like they're just becoming more and more enclosed and alone as these evil forces imposed, both from military evil forces and supernatural evil forces. It's such a kind of study on the terror and the pressure and the uncertainty that it would be living in those times with this horrifying supernatural edge. This mother, you really, really feel for her. She just had a major kind of setback in her life. She's not great with her partner. He's going off to war. She's snapping at her daughter. She's got missiles coming through a bloody roof. Everything is kicking off, and then some ghosts are thrown in for good measure. That's like the worst week of your life. One of the things I like about this early on is it really focuses on the disruption of this time, before the supernatural stuff starts. It's just the sheer horror and disruption of the family life as things become more and more unsafe and more uncertain and more worrying. It's a film about loss, about confusion, about rediscovering who you are, about choosing your own path, and about protecting what's important. And it's about how the world can make that incredibly difficult. And then obviously the ghosts are on top. As always, whenever a child is noticing ghosts in a movie, it's always extra scary. The Shining, The Babadook, and Under the Shadow does that. When this child just starts suddenly talking about ghosts, people she's seeing, it's always adds that added dimension of fear, because it's that breakdown of innocence. And it's that kind of worry of your child in danger, your child, the most vulnerable person in your life, in danger, being targeted, seeing things you can't see. It's a terrifying concept and very much used in a lot of films, but I think it should be used. It kind of takes you back to that time when you were innocent, so the evil becomes extra evil when you see a child experience it, because it's genuinely good versus evil. The scares are very effective and well built. I'd compare this kind of slow build to The Night House, which is another fantastic modern horror. This is a fantastic modern horror. This is a wonderful piece of work. This is, if I haven't made it clear yet, this is incredible, this film. I really do think the subtle direction, slowly things just become slowly closing in. So slow but sure. And then, it's not full of jump scares. You know, I think there's one jump scare in this, or two, and they're really, really earned. Mostly it's about uncertainty and figures and seeing things you're not sure is there. And some stuff in this that I would never think up, but I could imagine it happening in one of my nightmares. That's how horrifying some of the scares are in this. You know, it doesn't have to be in your face and shoved in your face, because the slow build is so gets under your skin. You don't need to have jump scares. You don't need to have stuff, you know. And when it happens, it really means something. And there's some terrifying creatures, some terrifying figures in this. Such sympathy for this mother and daughter, because, you know, they're just trying their best in this terrible situation they're in. And, you know, the turmoil and the dread, the sense of dread just builds and builds in this. It's such a quiet film, such a subtle film, but, you know, you hear every gasp, every movement, every shuffle. You hear it all, and you know, it really, really does hit you that much harder, because you feel involved, you feel very, very absorbed into this, and you feel like you're there with this mother and daughter, and your heart goes out to them. The ending scene of this, the ending sort of half an hour, reminds me of one of my nightmares where I'm trying to run out of it and everything's slowing me down. I'm trying to escape and everything's slowing me down. Either the floor is sticking me there, or if people are holding on to me and I'm being pulled back. That happens in this, and that's a perfect thing to depict in a horror film, because it's nightmarish. There's several fake out moments in this when you think things are going to happen, and that's when you know you've done well as a horror film. You know, you can sit there with many modern horror films, there's no fake outs, because when every time you predict something's going to happen, it happens. So many moments in this where there's fake outs, like the character will go out of shot, come back into shot, and you'll think that something will be there or would be watching them, and it's not there. And that just keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it keeps you worried, it keeps you full of anxiety. It's a deeply affecting film too, emotionally, about this mother and daughter. You know, you really sympathise with this mother who's lost pretty much everything, but she, through going through this, she realises she still has an amazing daughter, and she's been taking that for granted. And the daughter, you know, obviously your heart goes out to her because it's a child. And, you know, the fact that they're searching for that child's doll, and the doll has been stolen, you know, it almost makes you feel like, you know, throughout all this terror, political unrest, and what's going on, they're searching for something pure. They have to find that something pure, that doll. And it's almost, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a metaphor for what everyone in that country was doing. They were searching for that something that could bring them peace. I do find foreign horror tales very, very scary. Like, there's this horror film made by Masaki Kobayashi called Quaidam, which is very similar. It's also your insecurities imposing on you. Like, some of the fear in this for the mother is her own fears are coming after her, embodied in these evil spirits. You know, and I hate, you know, I hate that feeling of, imagine being attacked by your own insecurities and your own history and the things that hold you back in a form, a spirit form. That would be horrifying. The scariest scare for me, and I won't spoil it, is to do with the bedroom where the mother thinks that it's her daughter. That's all I'm going to say. You know, if you want to see a unique scare, a creative scare, something I was just not expecting whatsoever, and a jump scare earned, and a terrifying, nightmarish character who can only be the thing of nightmares, watch Under the Shadow just for that. I mean, you'll love the rest of the film, but just for that, that's one of the scariest things I've seen in many, many years. I was really unsettled. I was really, really, really impressed with this film, really disturbed, but also it made me feel something as well. It's a very deeply emotional film. So thanks, Megan, for this request. I love this movie. Thanks for recommending it. I genuinely think it's fantastic. If you would like to request a review, as I said, in the description, there is a link to my PayPal. You can leave me a message and also send the donation on there if you want to see me review anything of your choosing. Thanks for watching, everyone. My next few videos are going to be some Christmas content because, hey, Christmas is coming up. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you're a movie geek, please subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.